Season 2 on Rocky Top brings a new chapter for Tennessee's Felix Okpara. During the offseason, something clicked for the forward. Behind the scenes, coaches and teammates say that he's become one of the most dependable voices in the gym. And as the Volunteers prepare for another SEC grind, Felix's quiet transformation is beginning to speak loudly. I'm Paige Dower. This is The Edge.
Day in and day out, the most consistent guys have probably been Jacoby. I would throw Felix in that group.
What do you think has led to this heightened level of consistency that you're playing with this season?
It's just, I feel like I picked up a leadership role on the team, and being a leader, you gotta be a guy who brings it every day. That's one thing I had in the back of my mind every time I step in practice, just being the guy who gives 100% every day, and also just being a good role model to the younger guys.
During Okpara's first year in the orange and white, he spent more time observing, learning by watching, and leading by example, as last season's roster was full of veterans, voices Okpara listened to closely.
What really prepared me for it last year was, had guys like Zakai, Shaq, JG, they just being around them, just kind of like just getting a little bit of how they acted, how they reacted to stuff, I think that really prepared me for this.
With many of those leaders now gone, the responsibility fell on younger shoulders. And Okpara, he embraced it.
Felix Okpara.
Despite entering his senior season, it's only his second as of all. And stepping into that role demanded more than just physical play. It demanded maturity, accountability, and a willingness to set the tone for a team with championship expectations. Where are you challenging yourself the most this season?
Being that, just a consistent rebounder. I think that's something I've lacked in my game personally, and that just takes effort. I feel like like you said, I've been consistent, and I just need to bring that same consistency on the glass.
At 6'11", with long arms and elite timing, rebounding became the next frontier in his development. Through 4 games in the 2025-26 season, he's already recorded 24 rebounds. With the Players Era Men's Championship around the corner, Okpara's size, physicality, and leadership will be called on. So too will his most notable trait.
If he works, I'm telling you, he's as hard a worker as we have on the team. He really wants to be good, and it goes back to him sitting down, getting his space, knowing where he wants to be. And
the work ethic has always been a staple of Okpara's game. It was evident in his first season when he faced his current teammate Jalen Carey, back when Carey played at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I see it every day. Playing last year, I can always tell. Playing him last year, I could tell he has a crazy work ethic, just the way he plays so hard.
Now the transfer gets a front row seat to how intentional Okpara can be.
And seeing it every day. I go against him every day, so we're just getting each other better every day. So yeah, I see it.
With Okpara's high ceiling, it's potential that Barnes is deliberately trying to unlock, in only the ways Rick Barnes knows how.
Coach been challenging me in practice, and I just feel like anytime I go out there and do my job, everything's gonna work out.
Tough coaching that's starting to translate to the court. Following the Vols' win over Rice, Okpara finished with 20 points and 8 rebounds.
I ain't really worried about points, to be honest. I'm just, there doing my job and playing defense. I feel like the offense is always going to find me.
For Okpara, his source of confidence and work ethic, it's rooted in family. His adoptive family is his loudest cheering section, and his younger sister, Copeland, his most devoted supporter.
They've done a lot for me. I'm happy, to have them in my life. Good motivation for me too. I tell her, she can come up anytime she wants. It's just an hour 30 drive, and she loves coming over, to hang out with me and just, also watch me practice. I think, for her, it's just like the highlight of her life. She's going into high school, and she's just one of those things she just tell her friends about. And I'm happy to be that guy, be that brother for her.
Yeah, What is that relationship like, knowing that you've got a younger sister that looks up to you in so many ways?
I just like being there for her, and just trying to give her a different sense of how, the two sides to, both the athletic life and the regular life, And she doesn't understand it a little bit. She thinks I get everything for free, and, everything comes easily. But sometimes I try to explain to her, it takes time, it's really hard. It's obviously she knew the hard work I put in. But I feel like I'm a good motivation for her because she plays soccer and she wants to do well in sports so bad. So it's like, because she knows all her brothers play sports and her sister too plays sports, and she don't want to be the odd one in the family.
Now, she's all but following in her brother's footsteps by picking up the game of soccer. Before Okpara moved to America, soccer was his primary sport. He didn't begin playing basketball until just months before arriving in the United States.
She's doing well at soccer. Hopefully, someday I'll be able to catch one of the games. That's one thing I probably need to put on my bucket list, Probably maybe in the summer sometime, play a little soccer with her.
Now in his 4th collegiate season, his dreams of playing in the NBA are getting that much closer.
I think for me, it's just focusing on right now. Let whatever is going to happen. Just focus on what I can do right now, how I can get better right now. And that's what kind of helped me towards, the summer until now. Just focusing on today, focus on what I got to do today, what I got to get better today. And that's what I'm going to keep doing, to the end of the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you.